Hey, welcome everybody. You can see my computer here is busy chugging away, playing around with creating a time-lapse animation. Um, Bottom line is that this one bin that's been behind the curtain for so long has finally come to its end. Yesterday, at some point, the GoPro stopped filming, and a light even blew out, so that was kind of like a double whammy. I think a sign telling me that it's time to call it quits and shut down the time lapse and publish the video. So a couple other things going on here. I guess let's see. Let's bring up the spreadsheet so we can really get a quick sense of what went down here. Down here, you're going to see that yesterday, the 21st of January, Martin Luther King birthday, was when the GoPro was full. But every place that I annotated with red, you could see that something occurred. So for example, light bulbs. I had 4 light bulbs blow out. The 4th one blew out after the time-lapse ended, after the GoPro shut off, or was full actually. And that's fine, you know, if the GoPro's full, let it shut off. But at other times, the GoPro up here, for example, you can see the GoPro simply turned off. And I didn't even notice it for 3 hours. Luckily, I noticed it that quickly. And then over here too, there's like a little subsection of the video where I managed sort of a lift on the bin just to give it a better view of the camera. Here too, the GoPro turned off for whatever reason, I don't know why. But yeah, you can see I was tracking the whole thing here in a spreadsheet and keeping tabs on what was going on, what I was doing. So yeah, let's get down to feeding that poor bin, because, you know, for Pete's sakes, you might have noticed it a moment ago before I flipped over, but you know, that just started out as one of my regular bins, and it's right over here. But it's been, yeah, it's been quite a while now, right? When it was fed that pumpkin way back when, it was 63 days ago, more than 2 months ago, and I kind of feel guilty, so I've got a pile of food set up to give them right now. Let's go feed them. I'm going to give this bin a very generous feeding, because the pumpkin was a good feeding, but 2 months ago. And they probably depleted that weeks ago, so here's the food they're getting. And you can still see parts of this setup are still in place, including the bin being where it was, but like I mentioned earlier, one of the light bulbs that was illuminating the scene has burned out, the incandescent bulb, 4th one. You can even see the filament inside the bulb over there. And, you know, you can see this is where the GoPro was mounted. There was another lamp right here, a drop light that was providing illumination. Yeah, kind of a simple setup, nothing special. But, yep. This thing's just been sitting here for 2 months, and it's time to feed. Let's grab it and go. Okay, so the skin of the pumpkin has been reduced to just a wispy piece of nothing. It's kind of just floating up on top, so not even really within reach of the worms unless they come out of the material. And the one real remaining chunk, which is almost feels like a sponge, it's so light, stem of the pumpkin. Everything else here is just little wisps. This must be the bottom of the pumpkin, the flower. Everything is completely dry and brittle. It's part of the reason I was growing a little bit concerned about this bin, because it's been just been sitting out like this, no cover, no source of moisture at all. So once in a while, just trying to do it in a place where the camera won't catch me, I tried to just poke my finger down, and it did feel like the material was okay. So here too, I could just poke down a little tiny bit, and I can already feel that the material is moist enough that the worms should be okay. Before we do the feeding, let's see if we can somehow assess how the population is doing. See? I'm only down about 1/2 of an inch already, and there we go. We got a worm. newspaper. I'm sure they're just eating it as if it was food. It's probably down here. What I did was I tried to prop up the pumpkin originally onto a cardboard egg crate. And that's kind of what I'm looking for signs of. And I wonder if that's really what this is, just based on this kind of curved. So I mean, I am seeing newspaper, newsprint. So maybe there was a piece of newspaper on top of it or something. I can't really remember. But I think that that's what's left of the egg crate that the pumpkin was laid upon. Yeah, that's what this is. See, worms are hanging out in it here and there. I mean, there's worms in places. If you poke around, you can see them. They're all over the place. Some places like here, they're even pretty crowded, and they're, oh yeah, they're down here in nice numbers. And a lot of them do seem like they're smaller in size. So when I brought the worms into this originally, I may have just bought a bunch of cocoons over, and then, you know, baby worms were just hatching in here as part of the natural progress. So I think this bin is still doing just fine as far as the population is concerned and as far as the environment is concerned. So I'm going to begin creating a little bit of a ditch over here that we can drop stuff down into. Okay. And then in comes the food. A filter full of coffee grinds for them. Carrots, I know they love carrots. And I think this is potato, peelings, parsley, garlic skins, all kinds of delectable food for them. Now this thing, I don't know, if I plop it straight in there, I got a feeling it's just going to get consumed if it's down in the moist area. It's so cool looking, it looks like a little star. I'm going to keep that on the top surface just as a little bit of like a decoration reminder of what this bin has been through. Okay, looking pretty good. Let's reopen this hole so we could drop this paper down in there. Larger chunk. Okay, so forgive me for kind of going on and on about this bin. It's just that I've been hands off with this bin for such a long time now that I'm just curious how everything's going, and all the indications are good, so there's really nothing that I'm looking for in terms of a bad thing or anything. I just want to be certain. Yep. Yeah, it looks good. Anytime you dig down to the bottom, you find an abundance of worms, so I think this population's good. Terrific. Okay, I'm gonna go get the cardboard that was covering this thing originally. Let's also get back into marking where we last fed, which was right down the middle. All right, so that's it for this bin. It's been a 2-month journey, and it was fascinating. I guess I'll just ask for the customary thumbs up if you liked the video, and just offer the suggestion that if you want to see more content like this, then please feel free to subscribe to my channel. So it was great having you along, and thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.